okay, we are live. I need to go grab the freaking stream, so I can post it places. If it's actually live, that would be nice to know.
There we go.
Woohoo. We haven't streamed in a while.
I have. This is the first time I have ever streamed.
And I'm going to ruin the opening before Kraut can.
You're a bunch of weird snakes, apparently. I can't find the link. This is an issue.
Here.
Oh,
well, you want a link to the stream? I'm going to put it here on the side chat.
I've got it.
There you go.
Thank you, Tipsy.
There you go. There you go.
So I can actually post. I was like, I have no idea what this is, where the stream is.
Okay.
Okay.
This is our opening stream so far. Like, it's just us.
Of course.
It's amazing.
It's like, let's give it like 60 seconds before I start we can get into it. We'll get into it. Don't worry. I'm freaking
All right, it's fine. Can you just fill me in on what's happening, because I have no idea what Kraut did or what the whole thing is about.
That's great. So Ralph Retort did a stream with quite a lot of people, and it was for charity. So he said he was going to donate the entire thing to St. Jude, which is a child cancer thing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's a child's hospital charity in the US. And so when you do that, YouTube can lock it, so you can't receive the super chats, and you have to give it to charity, or like they take it and they give it to the charity. And he had done that, and the Wall Street Journal came out with an article saying that neo-Nazis had given, the St. Jude a load of money, and like this was horrible, that they were promoting Holocaust denialism on a stream. And St. Jude's refused the money.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a bit of it on Twitter, and I was like, I think Sophane was tweeting about something like, if someone refuses your money, just like either just give it to someone else or do something. Like, I don't know, like there was like some people were talking about it on Twitter, and the thing is, I wouldn't want, like, if I had a charity or I had some sort of philanthropist kind of movement, I don't want to give any political movement credence or even support and have them use my name just to forward their agenda. That's just not what I want to do.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Which
is pretty much what they were doing. They were using it as an excuse to be able to talk about Holocaust denialism. Oh, but we're doing this for charity, guys. And now a lot of it's immediately divulged into partisan politics for some reason. That, of course, Wall Street Journal is bad people like Dankula, Paul Joseph Watson, Metica, of course, Ralph. And it all kind of diverged from there and immediately went into shitflinging, which was, I quite enjoy a bit of shitflinging,
Who doesn't?
I'm going to get in there.
Run this up to make it look like the PewDiePie thing. Like, everyone knows that the Wall Street Journal thing with PewDiePie was bullshit. Everyone called it out. But this is not the same thing, which should be evident to most people.
I mean, no. I mean, like when it was found out that St. Jude refused the money before Wall Street Journal actually made the article.
Really?
Yeah, apparently, yeah. So it was nothing. It was nothing to do with the Wall Street Journal, like itself. The refusal of the money.
What I'm wondering is,
the thing is,
Jude have something to do with someone who works at St. Jude had to do with this becoming knowledge of the press?
Well, it's almost irrelevant because it according to the article, and they keep trying to say, well, Wall Street Journal pressured them, right? it is according to the article, and you could always ask. There's always a spokesperson people can call, but that would just ruin their narrative, right? I would assume that somebody told them. It may not have been the Wall Street Journal. It may have not been. It could have been. But at the end of the day, when people keep complaining, all right, well, this money, this $26,000 is not going. They net like $2 million a day. Like they don't care about $26,000 that is coming from a one source, and that source. And I was just watching the heel stream before coming on here. Is nothing but anti-Semitism, and you had nobody but AIU defending the Jews.
No, I mean, here's the thing, Tizzy, and I mean, yeah, people would go like, well, why didn't they take the money? Because it would benefit people that are in cancer and whatnot. But if you have this association between St. Jude and some undesirable element, whether it's alt-right, neo-Nazis, or even, let's say, like far-left Antifa, how much would they lose because of that kind of association? Like, hey, you have like someone like the alt-right going like, yeah, we donated to these guys. That would turn some people off from donating to them again because of like, I don't want to be associated with those guys. So it's a calculated move, and in the long run, I don't really blame them. If I was in their shoes, I would do the same thing. It's a calculated move.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only is it that they would lose people, it's that they don't need the money. That's really what it is. We don't need neo-Nazi money.
Yeah, it was like what, $28,000, and like
26 and change. Yeah,
the net worth of them is like 4.3 billion.
Something like that. Are you saying it's like getting paid with Nazi gold? Basically, shove it up your arse.
Well, and the other thing that people bring up, they want to do this Wall Street, Journal kills kids thing, right? That's the narrative they want to push. But at the same time, there's nothing stopping them from taking the refunds and giving it to St. Jude's.
No, nothing stopping that. And the fact that you like bring it up, that like the fact that St. Jude's is now like in the media, it's a hit international media. That's more freaking revenue for them. Surely. Yeah. It's more than $26,000. That's a drop in the bucket to them.
I'm sure the ADL will throw in some cash at this point.
I find it funny that the charity itself, that the money itself has become the main vocal point and discussion point in all of this. And Ralph getting shut down, like almost the narrative is almost being spun as if Ralph got shut down for hosting a charity. He got shut down for hosting a charity about Holocaust denial, basically. The Holocaust denialist charity for children's cancer. And then last week hosting a stream after the synagogue shooting, with also not having exactly nice things to say about what went on there. Also the super chats being the same shit. So yeah. He poked a bear. Like, it's not necessarily, he poked something and someone, like he deliberately went out of his way to poke these people to get a reaction. And I do believe that it was intended to get a reaction, not this reaction. He didn't expect to get his channel shut down, but he wanted a media reaction. He wanted people to notice because they tweeted about it. Yeah. They tweeted about it after the stream. They do, the media outrage is going to be so amazing.
Yeah, he said, "Lol, I kind of want the drama," I think was the tweet.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's find that.
I have it. But like that's the thing is like you see a lot of people like Medicare, you see a lot of people like like Ralph and Deco all complaining about we're being silenced. Oh, this is the worst thing ever. It's like, yeah, I agree with Kraut. I don't think they expected to get kicked off like YouTube, but at the same time they wanted a reaction. Well, now you got it. Congratulations. And I'm not going to cry when the kill stream's off the air. I don't. And everybody says this is a slippery slope. Really? Who else got banned? If this was a slippery slope, they would have already hit their targets already.
Yeah, nobody's getting, like, nobody but Ralph is getting banned. And at the end of the day, he's broken the TOS so many times that
it was ban evasion. It was ban evasion. He was already
ban evasion.
Yeah, and like people can say, well, Zidane, but I guarantee you go on to Zidane's channel, there'll be about 1 million things that they could have kicked him off for.
something that needs to be pointed out is like the reason why I didn't shed a tear for Ralph getting dropped is that he has been evading bans for obvious violations of the TOS for months. For months. An example I can give that clearly affects me is he had my mother's phone number and address in his stream chats, where they were posted by his fucking moderators, by the people who were supposed to ensure that shit like this doesn't happen. They ignored it and then they took part in it. And his moderators called for people's channels to be flagged in his fucking streams. And the amazing thing about it is people would probably ask, like, okay, why wasn't that flagged back then? Well, it was flagged. It's why his channel went down a year ago, because people flagged it, because he does it to a lot of people. He does this kind of shit to a lot of people. But when he started doing it to me, and this is something that I noticed, he always took his streams down after hosting them. We know that he knew that this was going on in his streams because a friend of mine confronted him over it and said, like, why the fuck are you allowing this? And he just didn't care. And he evaded the bans. Like, he doxed people, he called for people to get flagged and mass disliked, and he evaded the bans non-stop by immediately taking down the streams after streaming.
Yeah, I've got the screenshots of those chat logs with the moderators being like posting just after them and everything.
It's the funniest thing that Ralph, for example, he liked to meander on his streams apparently, that I obsessively watch his streams. No, what I did was I recorded his chats.
Yeah, it's easy to record chats now that chats are being recorded by YouTube. It's very easy to just go back.
My family's members' docs were constantly in his fucking chats. His subscribers sent emails to my mother, harassed my mother, etc., etc. And I know he did this to other people as well. And I can by now actually say that it was him because he was aware of it and he didn't do anything about it.
Yeah. And so it's not as if he's not got a reason other than just ban evasion to be banned. It's perfectly fine for him to be banned, in my opinion.
Do you remember when my channel was flagged off YouTube when I came back to YouTube, and his fucking flagging server flagged my channel off YouTube, and then he went on Twitter and celebrated that my channel was flagged off YouTube? You know, what the fuck? Seriously.
Yeah. And then you've got the whole principal crowd saying, "Oh, I've got the principle now, guys. That I'm not going to want him to be banned." It's like, well, what is rule breaking?
Oh, you know what? He can speak. He can say what he wants. Like, this platform provides the opportunity for people to even deny the Holocaust. You can go ahead and make a video denying the Holocaust on this platform. It might get put into limited states. That's a possibility. You can do anything here on this platform. You can express any opinion. That's what I'm trying to say. But he was not just expressing opinions. He was actively inciting people to go and make people miserable. And that was the entirety of his role on YouTube. All he did was create misery for people. This has been a continuous pattern throughout the last 4 years for him. Make people miserable, make their fucking online experience a living hell, and then profit off it by writing shit piece after shit piece, by pouring gasoline into the fire, and just collecting the money that you make. That's what he does.
I mean, you've also got the whole thing with the... Oh, you're right there, Bronx.
Bronx!
What's going on? Bronx, get the microphone off your pocket or something.
I'm getting asked to make people mods, and I have no idea. I figured it out. We're good, people.
Yeah, wrench me.
If you wrench me, I'm going to ban them all.
Okay.
All of them.
Here you go.
The chat is going to be silent. I will censor you all.
Okay, fixed.
All right,
am I clear?
Yeah. No,
you're good. You're good.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I had to change a piece of equipment.
Oh, don't worry.
What I was going to say very quickly was, they didn't put Ralph off of YouTube for being an unethical player in the Bloodsports game. They put him off of YouTube for the substance of his program.
Well, that and ban evasion. I mean, that's
yeah, but one was an excuse. There are plenty of people that have fucking evaded bans. Steve Shives technically is not supposed to be on YouTube, and they don't give a shit. He's evading a ban right now. What happens is it's a premise. They used the premise of whatever little infraction you made, and really this is about avoiding the implications of anti-Semitism, because there's plenty of Islamophobia and anti-black racism and stuff. It's when you cross that line of anti-Semitism that they're going to take your head off.
Sure.
I don't think it was that, honestly. I really don't think it was that. I think what it was is he used YouTube to create controversy around a completely different institution, a hospital outside of YouTube. And YouTube doesn't want that. YouTube doesn't want to be involved, want its platform involved in a controversy with something completely different. It's like I don't know. Tizzy probably can think of a better example of someone misusing a product for something else.
Well,
that was quick. Somebody's already, don't worry. Oh, that's hilarious. Keep going.
Great name, by the way. But no, here's the thing. It has to do with PR at the end of the day, right? Nobody wants Ethan Ralph pimping their product. He's not a spokesman. No. He's a PR nightmare. This is a guy who...
He wasn't pimping the product. He was using the product. It's not even a product. It's supposed to be a donation. It's supposed to be you doing something out of, it's not a product. And he used it for political means anyway.
Yeah, well, no, it's for a show. It's not even political means. I mean, at the end of the day, I think Ralph just does it for money. It's why he started on the left and is now an anti-Semite. Because there's a whole thing that there's a clip from him on his Twitch channel. He likes to say that, oh, no. The people I have on the show are anti-Semites, not me. And then you go watch his Twitch stream and he does a whole thing about the Jews. Like, this idea, do I think that he actually believes it? Maybe, maybe not. But what he does like is money.
And he lacks morals.
He lacks morals, exactly. Yeah.
So he can do whatever and feel fine about it.
He's the third opportunist in this cycle, right? It was Warski, it was Baked Alaska, who suddenly trying to defect white nationalism and improve. He only can. I mean, to an extent, Epi has admitted to being a fucking warrantist audience. That if they send chats or say, I mean, he completely gagged Emily Yukis on his stream and embarrassed himself because I need this money because I make children from rape and there's a new child every 3 months and I need the money.
Yeah,
and people laughed at him and they called him a shill. So they're all opportunists. So far, we haven't had. We need to see what happens when one of the Puritans gets called out. We need to see what happens when Spencer or who's that BNP guy, that cockeyed guy?
Mark Collette.
Yeah, Collette. We need to see what happens when an actual Samaritan and not a charlatan it gets it around the neck for putting out this propaganda.
Well, and on top of that too, it's funny you bring up Mark Collette. If you go and watch the heel stream, it's him going on and saying the Holocaust didn't happen.
Yes.
Saying absolutely, and then getting mad when AIU calls him a denialist, and he goes, "Fine, a skeptic," and he goes, "Well, it's over exaggerated."
Well, Sinatra says also, to his credit, pushed back pretty hard against the idea that there were roller coasters in the concentration camps. Yeah.
No, I'm not a huge fan of Sinatra Says, but at the end of the day, I don't think he's an anti-Semite either.
He's definitely flirting with it, but I don't think he's ready to go there. I don't think he's there yet, but you never know.
Hey, give it a couple months. He might complain about getting flagged when he streams Fox News. Which to this day is hilarious.
He posts stuff with the echoes and stuff, so he's close. He's starting the way Enoch started because
I think we're diverting
sorry
from the topic. Say.
What happened?
That's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So I had a few of the reactions of the notable people to show up. So let's see. Is screen share going to work? Let's do my screen one. Okay. There we go. So I've got Count Dankula because of course, because it was the funniest.
By the way, I'm working on something.
Okay, don't worry. I'll lock it. The fact that the Wall Street Journal are pressuring charities to refund money due to politics is disgusting. The money was going towards sick kids with cancer, but Wall Street Journal are trying to take it away just so they can get a win. There's a silver lining. No way Wall Street Journals can recover from this. You know, when you're just like...
They're owned by News Corp. They're fine.
Well, like, they've had bigger controversies with, like, far more YouTubers coming after them before. You think this is, like, something that's going to get him this time, guys? Like,
Ralph is gonna take down the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah.
Watch out, guys.
Yeah, I mean, after the controversy with PewDiePie, and it came out just fine. And that was the biggest one, because that was bullshit. That was just bullshit.
I think you know what it is? I think they live in... Sorry.
Go ahead. What do you think?
Go ahead. What was that, Lawrence?
I think they live in such a closed ecosystem that to them this is real controversy, but it's only on their, like, Tucker Carlson's gonna cry about it or whatever, but like they really think that this is gonna be the controversy to end all controversy because it offends them.
It's Gamergate 2.0. They're laughing at Sargon, and now this is their Gamergate.
Oh no!
Does that make Ralph the new Boulder King? Does that make
Gamers rise up?
Gamers rise up, guys. Okay. Yeah, like Paul Joseph Watson was pushing this crap as well. Panic about super chats. It's been like a year since you were saying shit about super chats, Kraut, if you're still there.
Yeah. Oh my god. If I say it now, people will interpret it differently than back then. Like, this was over a year ago when I said this, even before I made my alt-right videos. I hate super chats. I absolutely despise them because they are an incentive to not make videos, but to do streams, and I hate streams. I hate streams. So, yeah, that's why I have not to this day activated super chats on anything, and I never will. I'm a content creator, not a fucking...
Hey man, we're creating content right now. This is me going, I can't, I didn't have time to make a video this week. No, I also wanted to talk about this. But yeah, script. Yeah. So 26,000 for dying kids, and the money all gets refunded because of a planned Wall Street Journal hit piece. I mean, planned? Was it planned? Do we know it's planned?
Well, it's irrelevant. That, like, I think people think journalists are like they have the Gamergate mindset. They think they're all talking to each other and they're all gonna collude. Like, I kept seeing this word collusion. I don't think there was a lot of collusion. Did this journalist talk to YouTube? Maybe. Did YouTube make a decision on what she said? Maybe. But there's no evidence one way or the other. There's nothing saying that this journalist actually worked with either side. She may have gone for comment to either side. She went to Ralph for comment, and JF was retarded enough to actually respond to it, which by far is the best part of that article.
Oh yes. By the way, yes, that is the best part of this article. Is this is the image of JF at the very beginning of the article.
Oh god.
Oh god. I just love that he's got the Quebec flag in the background. He's always got the Quebec flag in the background. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, man, you're that proud of being Quebec.
He got to be the he got to be the king of the article here. He actually got to be the face. Unfortunately, they didn't put Ralph's fat face. But I guess they didn't want to scare away the readers from actually reading it by putting Ralph's face on there.
I don't know. That's pretty scary.
I don't know. I think I'd rather, just for an aesthetic thing, I'd even put JF's face up there instead of Ralph.
I mean, it's not the first time that JF's face has been plastered over articles.
I won't miss super chats if they disappear. I really won't, because it's maybe people will make more videos then, rather than just this endless screaming shit. Like everyone thinks he's the new drunk.
You got to remember, you're dealing with people who believe everything in the world is a conspiracy against them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's also true. But it's like it's my point was that it's a point I was making earlier a year ago. It's just a really cheap, shoddy way of making money.
Well, it was I know. Yeah, what it was just a way after the apocalypse. Google still wanted to encourage people to do things, right? So they created super chats so that people could still make money, and they didn't have to put ads on it, and Google was still going to cut. So it was
exactly money that they can split with Google, not just money for themselves.
Right,
money that they could get a cut out of.
Yeah, and now you've got stuff like Streamlabs. So even if they took away super chats, you still have Streamlabs, right?
I heard that Ralph lost his Streamlab too. Somebody posted something that seemed to indicate that he'd been pushed off the platform for one of his channels.
I mean, at the end of the day, these people are then getting less attention for what they're doing, and essentially that's what they want, which I'm kind of seeing as a good thing of them not getting the attention that they're deliberately inciting to try and get.
I'm just having a peek through Ralph's
Discord.
Yeah, his Discord.
Oh,
yeah,
I was looking at his Twitter account. His Twitter account is just so much so.
Ooh, yeah, they
did.
You know,
Medicare made an interesting. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, they did take away Streamlabs. I'm seeing a complaint about it. Yeah.
Yep. And Medicare made an interesting point, which was like, Ralph. Okay, so like he has his audience, and he could take his audience with him anywhere. But without access to these platforms, he can't grow. He can't bring new audience in. So eventually the 6,000, 5,000 people will become 4, then 3. They're going to get tired of his shtick. The only thing that keeps these people alive is fresh blood, people who aren't tired of their bit. So the thing is that this is like a long-term strategy. We sequester them off the mainstream internet. They get their audience gets tired of them, and then they fucking dissipate.
Well, there's another part of it too, is if Ralph doesn't have a consistent place to go to, his streams will start dying out because people won't go searching for it. But here's the other thing, and I see people in the chat who are obviously big fans of Ralph, and I'm very sorry that your king is lost his little.
The king is dead. Long live the king.
Yeah, right. Yeah, here's something I say. They're saying, well, you guys don't like free speech. You guys don't like free association. You have no problem with quote unquote free speech. This is a private company. They can do it. They can have whoever they want, and it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what you say. It's their company. If they don't want anti-Semitism, they don't need to platform it. You don't like it?
Right.
Go start your own platform.
Oh, but constitutional rights. You can use your constitutional rights. You can go to McDonald's and use your fucking constitutional rights, dude.
Oh yeah. That's the thing. Does McDonald's have that? If you could start screaming shit about the Jews in the middle of McDonald's, do they have the right to kick you out? Yes, they do.
Yeah. No, Constitution says Constitution.
Well, no. Here's the thing: the Constitution
you can walk into Harvard and disrupt a fucking professor and just exercise your constitutional right and scream the K word at the top of your lungs.
Well, no. And on top of that too, like I was saying, the Constitution also guarantees free association. I do not have to associate with you. So, womp womp. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's amusing to me sometimes when people who are all for freedom of speech would be the very same people that would spurg whenever someone would kneel during an NFL game.
Yeah.
Because, freedom of speech for me, but not for you. And they're like, yeah, well, it's the workplace or it's a private company, and they start making all these kind of excuses of why they are against it. Here's the thing: if the NFL ever by the way, if you want my take, if the NFL ever decides that, you can't do that, then they have the right to be against that, but they seem to be okay with it. So.
Well, I saw another thing too in the chat.
Drallasta, were you the one that used that clip of Spencer saying he doesn't give a shit about free speech?
Yeah, no, I wasn't. But I think it was David.
Well, but
there
here's
you go.
another
Okay.
thing, too. Yeah.
Did you see that clip, Tizzy, where fucking Richard Spencer talks to one of his little homies, and he's
I
like,
watched that
"No, we don't really care about free speech. We're being radically pragmatic."
Yeah, that was a heel turn. He said that. But and I got to go in a second, guys. Unfortunately, I have work.
Yeah.
I just do want to say one other thing. Yes, I actually do support the right for a private company to refuse service, including Masterpiece Cake Shop. So no, I'm not a hypocrite. They might be, the other guys here, but I'm not. Free association is free association, and I'm sorry that Google doesn't want your business. I'm sorry, guys.
All right. I mean, if you want to go with the cake shop thing, like I think I said that before, maybe not on a stream, but I think if you have a shop, like an open shop, you cannot just like not sell an item on the shelf to someone else just because you don't like them. That's a little bit iffy to me. But if someone goes like, no, I want you to create an item for me with these specifications, and you don't like it for whatever reason, you have the right to refuse.
Yeah, I'm kind of there with that. Like, it's a bit off if you just turn around and go, well, fuck yeah. Again, it's like if you turn around and said, I'll make you, if you have a service that says, I will make you any cake, then you can't. Because you said you would make any cake.
Still, I mean, hey, here's the thing. Like, my job is a photographer. I take photos of anything that you want me to. But if there's an item that is just like a bit effy, or just like, hey, it's a Nazi party, and we want you to cover the event, I'd be like, no, fuck you.
Oh, you mean like in terms of the argument that is often made? What about like the cake bakers who don't want to make a cake for gay people, or what about the business that doesn't want to sell products to black people? I'm going to be very frank about this, and I know that a lot of people here will disagree with me on this. I think they should be allowed to.
I agree. No, I agree with you. And not only that, too, Masterpiece never denied them business. He just said he wouldn't make them a customized cake. He offered them.
I heard like conflicting stories, and to be honest, I never dug that deep into it to know. But what I heard is that he refused them even like something off the shelf.
Nope.
And that's how they got him. And so like I said, I don't know, and I don't care. My stance is still the same.
Well, there are laws in the United States. There's a legal context here about the Civil Rights Act and what the parameters of open to public means. You know what I mean? Like there. It's not just a matter of
I understand
principle.
that.
It's a matter of legal.
You've got something like the protected groups and who you can like anti-discrimination groups and anti-discrimination laws that add more nuance to this. And I don't live in the States. I don't really know. I'm just talking about like the principle that I'm for. But I would like if I was living in the States, I would operate and do it in the limits of the law, I guess.
I like money, so I would sell gay people cakes.
I don't think, if you run a business in our modern day and age and you go like, I don't serve black people or whatever, you're probably going to go bankrupt. But if you want to do that way, you should be allowed to, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, but see, that was the whole legal precedent. That principle was what created apartheid in the States. Was that if people didn't want to serve colored people, you know what I mean? Like we litigated all that shit already.
Jim Crow was legally enforced. That was not on a voluntary basis. That was not individuals to say,
that was
okay, business, I'm not going to serve blacks. No, Jim Crow was legally enforced. That was the government. Yeah. The state government, I should say.
That was the government. That was the government forcing people to not do business with people. That's different from.
Yeah, but you can't have a multiracial society where people just decide whether or not they're going to serve certain people. It won't hold together.
I think you can actually.
All right, guys. I gotta get out of here.
Okay, I'll see you later.
All right, see you later. I mean, here's the thing. On principle, I agree with you, Bronx. And like, in principle. Yet there is a bit of like, maybe not on the base of phrase, but let's say if you're a tattoo artist and someone comes in and goes like, I want you to tattoo a swastika on my back, and like you already advertised you can tattoo whatever design you want. So like a tattoo artist would pretty much every single design they make, they pretty much sign their name, even if it's not signed literally, but it's a design made by them. If they don't want that association, I think they should have the freedom to do so. However, when it comes to, like I said, items that are off the shelf that are not created or customized per customer, I don't think he should be able to discriminate. So that's where I draw the line, at least. So, like,
All right,
yeah, I can't
Barry.
just get Nazis off my McDonald's because they want a Big Mac. But if they want a Big Mac with a swastika made with the ketchup, I'd be like, no, get out of my shop.
Yeah. Okay, I'll reel it back in because we're a little bit like we're like, oh shit, we're on the cake shit again. God no, kill me. Let me get some more tweets because that's more fun. Let's go. Screen share. Screen one. Okay. It appears the Wall Street Journal is reporting it just took $27,000 away from 6 children raised via charity stream. What an amazingly progressive decision. Oh boy. And why do you hate me, SJW, Wall Street Journal? SJW, it's the same thing, right? They're all SJWs. It's the same thing. Let's just leave that there for a bit.
It's just spin, isn't it?
It's all spin. Like,
yeah, it's spin. You can interpret it just as well the other way. Like, why are they?
I think Rupert Murdoch would be offended by someone calling his publication.
You just dropped out.
Hello.
Yep. Hello, Liberal Sanity Project.
We're here to make fun of Ralph.
We are here to make fun of Ralph. We're also making fun of Massacre in the middle here.
Oh, I love that. I'm always paying for that.
But yeah, this is one of those times where you go, Jesus Christ, man, you aren't above using kids, are you? You aren't above using sick kids to make a political position. You can say the Wall Street Journal's doing that, but they didn't really mention.
Just remember that after they did this stream, they went to Twitter to tweet, I'm looking forward to the media outrage. I want the media drama. I'm looking forward to the drama. They tweeted that. They said it on that stream itself. They wanted this outcome. They didn't expect it to be like this, but they wanted it. It's like, yeah.
Oh, Drallasta, have we gotten to the best part of that journal story yet?
Oh, no, we aren't reading through it. I was just scrolling through it to point out how far before they start like bringing.
I just heard about this during the stream because, to be honest, like for the past few days, I've been just gaming and not paying any attention to the news. But the timing of it all, like right after a synagogue got shot, and everybody was talking about like anti-Semitism and its effect on online societies and communities, and these guys go on with a Holocaust denial stream, and they want to be associated with St. Jude. Like the timing is just perfect.
They hosted that stream a month ago.
Oh,
they did a completely different stream about the synagogue, which was also filled with super chats about killing Jews and shit like that. So they didn't do themselves any favors in that regard. But yeah, the stream, the charity stream happened a month ago.
Oh, okay. So I stand corrected then. Like I said, I just heard about it now. Like I don't really follow that shit.
I'm interested in seeing what I would really like to know is when did the charity decline that? When did the hospital decline that donation? Was it 2 weeks ago?
Apparently it was before. I heard it was before.
Yeah, but how much before?
I mean, how long ago was the stream? It wasn't that long ago, was it? Let's have a look. So they'd have put out a statement.
Well, I don't know.
They probably put out a statement. So yeah, I can't just find it. Just quickly hitting Google. No, nothing's here. Not pulling anything up, but yeah, I've heard that it was before the Wall Street Journal posted its article. Okay.
I don't know, but I think I can. Like I don't know, I could be wrong, but I remember like there were a few times that they refused donations as well. Like it's not the first time that charities refused donations because, like the campaign itself was supporting political agenda that they're not for. This is nothing new.
No. No, I mean, it's obvious why they would refuse it. Like, it's really clear when you just kind of stop and go, God, why the hell would they want to be associated with neo-Nazis? There is no reason. Are you playing the
Sorry.
stream?
Sorry about that.
Okay, are we feedbacking? Yeah, it's still
Hold on. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me just.
Okay.
This is a professional stream.
Professional stream, guys. We've done this before so many times. This is literally the first stream on this channel. So.
Oh, boy.
So are we ready for the Jewish question?
How about no?
You would be an expert in that, LSP. By the way, how's my audio?
You already asked mine.
Perfect.
Cool. So, yeah, the point is that there was no reason for St. Jude to accept the money, like to be like it's at the end of the day, it's a drop in the bucket. This 27,000, 28,000, whatever it was. It's not a lot in comparison to their 4.3 billion in assets, and then it's also nothing in comparison to the amount of money that they could have potentially lost by not. Like, you're thinking kind of how much money could they have lost if they didn't deny this money? If this had been spun perfectly by the media in a perfect shitstorm, how much money would they have lost?
Well, this was tactical. See, this was a response to. Remember, there was already a BuzzFeed article that was a harbinger of this about the controversy of super chats. So the alt-right looks at that article and goes, "How do we defend ourselves? Because we can't make a case that we're worth defending. We're not. So we can't say that our super chats are worth preserving. But what we can do is." And this is more than just Ethan Ralph. This was all the people that came on the channel. This seems like a brilliant idea to them, including fucking Sam Hyde. What they get to do is go, it's not me. It's not my super chats. It's the children, the innocent children that you're taking 2 months of chemotherapy from one kid.
Yeah.
It's all tactical. It's obviously tactical.
How many kids could they have helped with this $26,000? Like, one.
2. Yeah.
Well, it's not even
Half a kid.
Half a kid.
It's not even about that. It's about the message tied to it.
Yeah,
So
of course.
Right.
It's not even about that. Like, do whatever charity you want. You can always do a fucking charity. Nobody's fucking stopping you. But they tied a message to it, and I was insistent they wanted this outcome from the first place. They wanted that outcome.
Yeah. Well, they didn't want the consequence. They thought they would be able. I'm sorry. They thought they would be able to deflect this with the usual. Oh, the mainstream media is attacking us.
Look at Ralph's channel. Look at his stream. Look at what his content is about. Okay, sorry. Yeah, you know what I mean. What has he streamed about over the last years and ages? What has he mainly talked about? What has he talked about? It's always stirring up shit with people. Continuing to stir, like he blatantly made shit up about people. He faked an email that was supposedly sent to Sargon. Did he? Like, he just faked an email. He posted revenge porn on his site and all that shit. He purposefully stirs shit up, and that's all he does. And that just continued here. They just stirring shit up, and he
but he thought he could dot. He didn't think he was going to get banned. I'm sure.
No. He just poked an institution that wouldn't allow him to get away with that. You can poke
classic fascist overreach.
Here's a question: without the Wall Street Journal, is this happening down the road anyway?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it seemed like they would. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Metal. Okay, that's hilarious. Oh, I'm enjoying that. No, Twitter shit going on. That's.
What's Medicare doing?
Medica's. I'm enjoying his salt, man. Yeah. So I've just got like loads of tabs open with loads of different tweets. And yeah, because I've got Ralph's channel, Twitter page up. It's just jumping up with his tweets, which is gorgeous. But yes, so the point is, it seemed as though that they'd already rejected it before the Wall Street Journal had come out, but it didn't really matter anyway because they probably would have rejected it anyway.
Can I point out something funny, something that I found hilarious, which was the people who supported him. One of the people who stood out to me in all of this was Shoehead. Ralph does this thing on his stream. Like Ralph likes to, for example, do you remember when the Shoehead nudes thing was, and Ralph just really, like, he always had to talk about them and blah blah blah. He didn't show them because he probably knew it would get him banned. But the thing that stood out was that he had on his stream this thing that whenever someone would make a super chat donation, right? There was this weird figure of Shoehead that would pop up, and her hair would fall out, and then wigs would change around, and it would animate towards her standing there bald without any hair. And yeah, it's pretty obvious why he had that on. And then Shoehead supported him yesterday, and then Ralph streamed on some other service yesterday, right after she voiced her support for him, and he still had that fucking thing there. It just didn't go away. Like, it kind of shows how shameless he is in all of this.
Right,
not to mention that he stoked Brittany Venti's terror campaign against her a couple of months ago.
Yeah, like, he is
a
serial harasser of just of Shoe. Like, just
Drallasta, do you remember that Brittany Venti thing?
Yeah,
how fucking huge that was?
Yeah.
She terrified Shoe on a massive scale for days and weeks after that. Shoe got run off the internet for weeks. And it was through Ralph's platform, and fucking Shoe, she has zero moral character. She's a complete shill.
It's more that she tries to no. That's not like what it was about for her. I think she just saw that somebody got banned off of YouTube and doesn't think that people should be banned for these freedom of speech violations. But it wasn't. It was a harassment violation.
Like everyone will always see an attack against the YouTuber as an attack against all YouTubers, and the reason for that is very simple. It's because, as much as we can debate that, we are a competition to other media platforms, and we see ourselves as a competition, and as such, all YouTubers will probably mostly always rally together whenever another media outlet goes against you. That's just how it is.
Mindless tribalism. Not all punishments are equal. Some people actually need to get it.
It's not tribalism. It's just market forces, to be honest. It's self-interest. It's not interest of a tribe. It's interest of yourself as a person to make money and cash and to profit and to continue having success that drives that.
This didn't have to be a partisan issue. It really didn't until... Yeah, this didn't have to be an issue until it was made a partisan issue.
You know what's funny is that
these people
ignored Ralph for months. Didn't talk about him. At least as often as I could. Here and there I tweeted about him, but I didn't make a video on him. I didn't go on streams about him. I declined going on his stream. Like, I tried on purpose really hard not to comment on this. Not to comment on him, because I believe, and I gave people shit for this in the past. Like, I had people complain to me about Ralph's existence as a channel, etc., and so forth. And the thing is, yeah, if you don't want him to grow and succeed in this and to keep stirring up shit, you just ignore him. You give him content by talking about him. We are giving him content right now.
We are, but at least he's been banned from YouTube.
I wouldn't say it like that. He's probably gonna get another channel. He's probably gonna come back. That's just gonna happen.
But you know, until
he can't get another channel. That's like saying Alex Jones can come back.
Other channels though already though.
Oh,
they killed every channel that was associated with him. All his main channels, all his satellite hosts. That's like saying Alex Jones can come back. YouTube knows Ethan Ralph now, and they'll snake him out anywhere they come.
He can always merge with the public space, you know.
They hate each other.
Yeah, they.
Oh, they do? I have no idea. Oh, that's weird.
Especially after this, because now if you look at the Wall Street Journal article, it's not Ralph's face.
I love that. I love that article. I want to frame it.
Oh, it is amazing. It was just hello, Mr.
Have you gotten to the end of it, Drallasta? Like the
haven't.
Best part? You have to get to it.
Maybe we should just
what
read
part
it.
am I looking for? Mr. Gary Fee's live stream in the wake of the Pittsburgh generated
let's read it all.
Okay, we can go through it all. Yeah. Okay. After Robert Bowers stormed the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh on the 27th of October, far-right personality Ethan Ralph launched a live stream on YouTube to discuss the shooting that claimed 11 lives. Soon, some viewers began playing to have their comments featured on the live chat scrolling, alongside the streaming video, through a feature YouTube launched last year called Super Chat. Super Chat. During the live stream, which YouTube said Mr. Ralph has since deleted, one user paid £2 to write, "How you get a Jewish girl's number? Roll up her sleeve." I don't get it. I don't think I want to get it.
It's the numbers from the concentration camp.
Okay, yeah, I get it now. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to get it.
What do you do now?
And another viewer paid $5 and wrote, "If you want to know if the synagogue shooting was a false flag, then check out the Lucky Larry life insurance policies on those dead Jews."
Oh.
Those are light. Let me just say, as someone who's a frequent guest on that show, those are light compared to the really hardcore stuff. You can't even say it here.
Yeah, they probably went for like the ones that they were like not worried to say.
Yeah.
Like they chose ones without obvious epithets and shit like that. YouTube said late on Friday that it permanently removed Mr. Ralph's channel, The Ralph Retort, from its platform for policy violations and for going against its terms of service. So, you know.
Sorry.
As you can imagine, Ralph was not best pleased. I mean, like, you just go through his Twitter and, like, this is a day ago. Like, this was yesterday. Oh, God. Your order has been cancelled. Oh, no. You've got your $5 back. You can now give it to the charity if you like as a private citizen instead of a fucking...
Yep. Doesn't YouTube retain part of the donations anyway from Super Chats, even if it is going to charity?
No, they don't retain any from a charity event.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, so where were we? Mr. Ralph, whose channel had 22,500 subscribers, which is not his original channel. That's his newer channel, I think, because his original had over 100,000. Is one of several far-right YouTube celebrities who have used the super chat function to make money. Several? Only several. Okay. Topics among such users can be widely ranging, from events like the tragedy in Pittsburgh and the confirmation of the Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh, to critics of the media and internal debates among members of the far-right online communities.
You know what I fear out of all of this? Because, you know what I fear out of all of this? I was listening in, doing something else. I just, if this continues, you know, one of the dangers coming out of this is that will no longer be possible to make videos like news feed streams, etc., about ongoing events. Like, I remember when the Paris attacks happened, we hosted a stream. I don't think it was in my channel. I think it was in Griffith's channel, where we talked about the events as they transpired and talked about the reasons, etc., about Islamism, etc., 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 and the migrant crisis and blah blah blah. What if this continues? Isn't there a possibility that as time goes by, YouTube might scrap our ability to stream about events like these completely?
Well, that was the problem with the monetization thing, where Jimmy Kimmel was getting his own monetization on like terrorist-related events when talking about them. And other YouTubers weren't, but it was because Jimmy Kimmel had his own team getting his own advertisements for YouTube, which you can look at it either way and still think, well, it's still bad. But yeah, I mean, they stopped doing it now. It's a more recent.
Like when the Habakasha hostage situation was going on in Paris, you know, the Jewish supermarket. If someone had just streamed, then, you know, like dab on the Jews in Paris or whatever. You know, back then, I believe a lot of people, even in this corner of YouTube, would have probably gone like, yeah, that's a bit too much. That's a bit too much. But if it continues like this, because this wasn't news what Ralph was doing. It wasn't like reporting on anything or something like that. He was just messing around about it. He wasn't doing any kind of serious conversation or debate about the topic. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't like new. It's just now they tried to piss off the media and it worked and they got pissed off. Like
I don't think they wanted the Wall Street Journal's attention. I think they wanted someone like BuzzFeed or something, because I think Ralph has a propensity to piss off people at BuzzFeed.
Yeah, I mean, the Wall Street Journal was probably too big. It was obviously too big for them to handle. And
they played Russian roulette with 6 bullets. You know what I mean? That's basically what happened. Like, they got away with 1 bullet, and instead of putting the fucking gun down, they kept putting the 2nd bullet, the 3rd bullet, the 4th bullet. And then when they had 6 bullets in the gun and they played Russian roulette, it was over.
Yeah, you have to wonder what they were expecting anyway. Like they
thought they were going to beat the media. The whole point of this was that they really believed that they could have 6 bullets in a gun and not die. They really, if you followed, I watched that fucking show all the time. They really believed this was the beginning of them Deus vaulting mainstream press. You're gonna fucking lose.
Yeah, that's like as much as I have to bring up this fucking Count Dankula tweet again because it was a belter. There is a silver lining. There is no way the Wall Street Journal can recover from this. There is no way the Wall Street Journal can recover from this, guys. They
believe this. They really think they're gonna win.
They do, and that's just kind of baffling.
The Wall Street Journal is everyone knows why Murdoch owns papers. Murdoch owns papers for political influence. The things written in Murdoch's papers represent, like, no fucking paper makes any kind of money these days. Papers are owned for political influence purposes, to drive forward the message of political groups. The idea that the Wall Street Journal is somehow going to lose income for this, I think even if the Wall Street Journal lost most of its advertisers, it wouldn't give a shit, because it's a political influence group.
Yeah, and this is a way for neoconservatives and the old right to push back. This whole beef is an internal struggle between the old right and the new right. You know what I mean? This is about wanting to restore the figureheads of mainstream American conservatism by ostensibly shaming the alt right.
Yeah, it's probably has more to do with that.
Oh, someone wants to get Jim on.
They all want to get Jim on, and now you've mentioned it.
Oh yeah,
I'm just gonna say this to the chat. No, we're not gonna bring Jim on.
Yeah, no.
Medicare?
Yeah, they
Mr.
want to bring
Medicare
on. Yes.
Bring him!
No.
Bring him and light him up.
No.
I always tell you guys, you got to grab these people, sit them in front of you, and light him up.
No.
If he's willing to come, I'd take him.
I'm not taking him.
No, again, it's your stream, but I'm just saying, like these people, I would be fascinated if he actually showed up. A lot of the time, I think he just makes the challenge because he knows people are already going to say no.
Well, yeah, I can imagine that he knew that I was already going to say no. But the problem is, I know I'm going to say no because he is just a massive liar and a shit stirrer. I don't particularly want to give him any more attention than he deserves. Talking about him now was something that I didn't particularly want to do.
Sorry.
I just mentioned him because of his tweets. No, it wasn't.
Let me ask you something. Is this in any way a free speech issue?
No, this isn't a free speech issue at all.
Like, okay.
A lot of.
What are the, you have to be honest about this. What are the arguments for it, though?
What, for it being a free speech issue? That somehow the freedom of speech should apply to businesses and YouTube and people on the YouTube platform. I think they're trying to separate the fact that the Constitution and they're trying to separate the fact that the freedom of speech is in the Constitution and apply it just to say YouTube should have a policy on freedom of speech, and it doesn't work because all of a sudden you're trying to think of all of the things that you can do with that freedom of speech that would just be so fucking heinous that you shouldn't be allowing it. There's a reason why there are clauses that, like, there's case law in the US that is anti-freedom of speech, in quotations, because fucking yelling fire in a crowded theater isn't a nice thing to
No,
do.
it's not that. And here's the difference between YouTube as a platform and freedom of speech, like a public square. For YouTube, they treat their videos as product. They sell those products to advertisers, and they want to advertise on them or not. Now, if the product is shitty and the advertisers are not buying, they're not going to carry them. Simple as that. Like, why should I pay bandwidth and all that kind of cost for a product that no one is buying?
Can I ask a question? Because I have some Europeans in the chat, and I've always wondered: are platforms like BBC and stuff, are those publicly owned, or
The BBC is publicly owned, yes.
what does that mean? Does that mean that like
no,
your
sorry,
rights?
the BBC is
propaganda.
the BBC isn't publicly owned; it's publicly funded. So that there is essentially a kind of pseudo tax that happens. The BBC gets that money, called the TV license. They're not a publicly owned company. I don't think they ever were, but
because the alt-righters will make the case that if YouTube wasn't a private company and it was a national television service or a national internet video service, that they'd be forced by law to host Nazi content. So in the United States of America, we don't really have public television, really don't. But I know in Europe and Canada, they're funded mostly by the Koch brothers. I'm talking about a real taxpayer. We don't have a true taxpayer funded, but I know in some parts of Europe they do.
Okay, I don't know, and I might make myself sound like an idiot, but NPR, National Public Radio, it has public in the name. Is it public?
No,
really? I don't know.
No,
private.
That's just the name. Yeah, that's just the name. It's private.
Okay. Because
but I'm just saying, for the Europeans in the chat, if a company is, because I know in Europe there's actual nationally owned outlets, would they be forced to host Nazi content because the Nazis are taxpayers too?
That's an interesting. Okay. There are policies, as far as I know, with most outlets. I'd have to look it up. But let me actually look it up. Fuck. I'm in the shit in the folders. There are policies of restricting bias. It's banned. You're banned from being biased towards any political position when you report on something, but you also have to give every political position the same kind of equal chance. Something like that. But
even Nazis?
I'm not sure. I mean, there are countries in Europe where it's pretty much illegal to be a Nazi. There are countries in Europe, don't forget this, it's technically speaking in Germany illegal to be a communist. If you are if you're a member of the Communist Party in Germany, you're banned from having a teaching job, for example.
Holy crap.
That's just, but you don't see it enforced as much as you would see, for example, an anti-Nazi.
Liberal sanity, you got feedback, bro.
Hey, Kraut, can I ask you something? So, someone DM'd me, ask Kraut about Kevin Bixby and his white caliphate. Allahu Akbar.
Okay, wait.
Kevin Bixby.
You don't know. Yeah, so are we sad about Ralph being banned?
He got hit by a boulder. No.
What?
Hit by a boulder, no. One day, mass revenge.
If you got hit by a boulder, the boulder would break.
That's a part, dude, maybe.
Yeah. Like, just seeing, like, a load of people coming out the woodwork to defend this shit, it's just hilarious. I just can't get over it. It's just so funny when you're just looking at it.
Well, I don't blame people on his own fucking side. To me, the problem is the goddamn dickheads in the fucking dead enders of the skeptic community, the dead enders, who literally are willing to fucking self-immolate as a tribute to the virtue of free speech, even if it involves people terrorizing them on a daily basis. It's absurd.
Yeah, it does come to a point of how much harassment is too much harassment. Like,
this was the biggest problem with the whole Kekistan thing, is like free speech absolutist. What does that even mean? if this is what it means, then it's reached its ad absurdum at this point, where like, yeah, absolute free speech, including free speech of people who terrorize my family and humiliate my fiance. Like, fuck that, man. Like
people who use kids with cancer as a means to talk about the Holocaust.
Yeah. Fuck that. It's not even worth it. Again, I'm an extreme leftist, and there are limits on all kinds of principles that I have I can't think of a single freedom, a single principle that I have as an extreme left winger that I would say is absolute, that I wouldn't put any kind of limit on it.
Oh, but there should be a limit. I have tweets from a guy named Ebola Cereal who threatened to rape Karma with a knife. This is not a free speech.
Oh no, and he's a serious dude. He's a dangerous guy. He doxes people.
Precisely my point. There are understandable limitations to this. Free speech doesn't mean the right to threaten people.
Right, but the advertising of the peak Sargon era was absolute freedom, and it's just marketing, it's just branding, and it could never be achieved. It was just horseshit. It was like Nike, just do it. It didn't have anything in it. It wasn't an actual principle because it wasn't attainable. Because that means you have to have child anime porn on fucking YouTube because absolute free speech. Fuck that.
We need that believe in something meme for Ethan Ralph right now.
Yeah.
Somebody he really did. He sacrificed everything. He just did it.
The only person who's actually sad about Ethan Ralph is fucking V. Did you watch V's pathetic, miserable, it's just a meme defense? Oh my god! Can you play it here? If you play it here, oh Lord.
Okay, drop me the link. Well, I'll probably find it. But,
it is the most tragic, miserable. There's like a little water in his eyes. He doesn't quite cry, but you see his face crumple up a little bit at one point. I'm like, yeah, he really wants super chats.
Someone just programmed the NPCs in the chat to print them over and over again.
Oh, does it? I love. Oh, that's amazing. By the way, fucking V's link in his Twitter bio crashes. Just there's nothing there.
I've run out of coffee.
Oh, that's
I'm
awesome.
probably gonna go sit and buy me some coffee.
That's pretty good. Yeah, man.
Because I have to work through the night, I think. Well, I'm gonna stay here for another 20 minutes or something.
Okay.
You gotta see this V video. You gotta see it.
So the problem is that there are two. He made two videos. The Hail stream, and Ethan Ralph is public enemy number one. Which one is it?
It's the one with V's face.
Oh, okay.
Prepare to have a brain aneurysm.
Okay. How far into it are we? Because this is a 15-minute video.
I think like 4 minutes will do. 4 or 5 minutes will do.
Okay.
Watch it from like the start to like 4 minutes.
We can't hear you, by the way.
Oh, we can't hear them. Okay. Well, there's
yeah,
no
you can't share.
Okay.
You need to do it with OBS.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna do it.
I can very clearly notice that this is the first
you can change your microphone settings.
Yes, this is
to the speakers.
This is the very first time I've actually done a stream on YouTube.
So the gist of it.
Yeah, go for the gist. Yeah.
The gist of it was, and again, it's completely ludicrous, and it harkens back to the era when me and Kraut first started talking about all this stuff. He literally goes to, I don't know if the people on the heel stream were just memeing. I think they were just kidding. I don't think they actually believe in anti-Semitism. He literally thinks Mark Collette was memeing.
Yeah,
that's his defense here.
Mark Collette is like been a neo-Nazi since what? Early 2000s at the latest.
He's not the only one. It's not like the rest of the people were meme lords. Like these were avowed and open anti-Semites. And V's defense is, I don't think anybody on the Ralph Retort has ever been an actual Nazi. Lana Loktev has fucking been on there. V-Dare has been on there. Jared Taylor has been on there. Is Jared Taylor memeing about anti-Semitism and white supremacy? Is my question for the room is this cynicism or stupidity? Is V ignorant, or is this just like Sargon style cynicism? Oh, I don't know. The fascists don't seem bad. It's just a meme.
To be fair, what I wanted to say before is that Jared Taylor is the guy who stormed out of the, I think it's called the NPI conference, after this Jew thing came up there or whatever.
Yeah,
but
I don't think
the definition games over what is a Nazi, what isn't a Nazi, the reason for that is because over the years this has been used far too often. Far too often people have just lashed out and called anyone a Nazi for no fucking reasons. Now it's no longer clearly defined what actually is a fascist, who you can call a fascist, who you can call a racist, what is legitimate fascism, what is legit racism, what can you call that? And the funniest thing, though, in this case is that Mark Collette defines himself as a fascist. He calls himself a fascist. You know.
Do you think that V is just ignorant here, or do you think that this is just, you know, a vulturist kind of ethics?
I don't know what goes on in V's head, and I don't want to.
You know, that kind of mindset reminds me of like certain people, especially like from the far left. Like when there's an ISIS attack and they go like, well, they're not real Muslims because reasons, and you just
no, that's not all. That's not all. That's not all.
Hold on. Shut up. You have someone just you have someone just going like with Islamic teachings, and they're doing it in the name of their faith, and they like, well, no, they're not doing it for Islam, and then you defend them on that base. It's kind of absurd. Like, yeah, I know where you're going with this, Bronx. I mean, you might go like, yeah, well, maybe it's not like you can't generalize the like every single Muslim to be a terrorist. I kind of agree. Like, my grandma is not a terrorist. She's still a Muslim. She's a sweet lady. So
the point is that ISIS is not conducting a program for my friend Samir, who drives the bus in the morning. That's the point.
No.
When people use that framing, like, you know, ISIS. When people like ISIS is working for Islam, I mean, they work for themselves.
No, but when someone, like, I heard it from a lot of pundits that go like, they try to, let's say, explain Islam to Islamists, and they're like, well, it's Islam doesn't support it, and I'm like, no, it kind of does. Yeah, a lot of Muslims moved past that for like hundreds of years now, and
ISIS and Boko Haram, the most people they kill are Muslims. Number one people they kill, Muslims.
I know.
That's not really relevant,
including Al Qaeda.
Why are we
and
talking
everything
about
else.
this?
No,
we're having an Islam debate right now.
It's something that it's like a parallel that I kind of noticed. Like you defend people that fascists, and they go like, well, they don't sound like fascists to me, even though they self-identify as fascists. So it's the same thing in my head, at least.
Well, ISIS is a fascist organization. They're Islamo-fascists. That's a real thing. I've done videos about that. Boko Haram's Islamo-fascist. There's plenty of Muslims who are fascists, but Islam is not unto itself a fascist ideology. It's not like it's not endemic to the philosophy.
Isn't Muhammad a bit of a conqueror?
I mean, then you're trying
Why
to
are we talking about
then
this?
you're comparing feudalism to fascism, which doesn't work. Don't worry.
No, they're different.
I'll see you later.
Yeah, I took this on a tangent.
later,
Sorry,
Kraut.
let's reel it back. Let's reel it back.
Anyway, should we go back to the article? Because
Yeah.
yes, the article.
I want my favorite part.
Oh, okay. Quickly.
Are you gonna put it on screen share when you do it?
Yeah, just give me a second because I need to stop my frigging Discord notifications popping up on my left screen because that's what happens. So everybody keeps jumping up. If you don't want anything said, guys, don't message me when I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, like that, Kraut.
Might as well shut down Discord.
So yeah, this is just talking about Super Chat. So while the Super Chat function is available to YouTube's vast cast of video celebrities and was made primarily to appeal to gamers, it hasn't gained the same traction or scale among these groups as it has with the far-right crowd. According to analysis by Storyful, stop doing it, Kraut. Okay, thank you, Kraut. Thank you for telling us that.
Well, this is like Super Chat without the money.
This is Super Chat, but if you have my Discord. Stop it. Fucking Jesus Christ. I will end Discord. I will kill Discord now. You've done it, guys. You've made me kill Discord. There we go. and killed Discord for you guys. So where was I? Well, the super a social media intelligence firm that is owned by News Corp, the journal's parent company. Racist comments are not uncommon, as just as troubling, according to the researchers, are the comments that stay within YouTube's guidelines to avoid getting taken down through the use of coded language in place of hot button topics and slurs. For instance, commenters use the term basketball Americans rather than the slur against African Americans, and population replacement when referring to conspiracy theories about white genocide. Some users spell certain words with numbers to avoid detection by YouTube's software. Yeah, obviously, like this is one of those times where does anybody remember the Gulag from Der Server?
Yeah.
Kraut's YouTube server, yeah, where we made it so you couldn't say anything in the 50 most common words. You couldn't use spaces, and you couldn't what else? There was like loads of limitations on what they could do. And they were pretty inventive in getting around it. It was quite fun to watch. Just of how quickly they managed to get it. Oh, we stopped using the letter E at one point as well. And of course, we had the porn bot as well, spamming interracial gay porn into the chat. Which...
How do I get in there?
Well. Der Server, get somebody to gulag you.
I didn't know I could get this much interracial free gay porn.
It was about 6 or 7 images because the guys just didn't want to go look for it.
Oh my! See, that's half-hearted. Let's get again. Let me moderate that. I'll make sure there's good content in there.
So many payments, for example, were in the amount of 1488. The number 1488 is often used as shorthand among white supremacists to signify their ideology, and related merchandise is often sold for $14.88. I'd love to point out how normie friendly this article is, just by that bit there. Oh, guys, 1488, that's a thing that's spread around by the neo-Nazis, did you know? Yes, dear, thank you. What they're doing is transmitting these ideas in other ways, once said one researcher. The researcher has been targeted in the past by white supremacists and other members of far-right fringes. After a BuzzFeed article in May detailed the popularity of super chats among white nationalists and other far-right personalities, YouTube had started using its machine learning technology that it can detect hateful comments and put them on hold for further review. The company doesn't disclose how much it makes from super chats overall. A butt ton. A fucking butt ton. Like, you're thinking it's 60%, right? It's 60, 55, something like that.
Yeah, 60-40.
60-40, yeah. So
60-40.
So they make the 60, yeah?
No, YouTube gets 40.
Oh, YouTube gets 40, okay.
Yes.
40% of all that money. How many times have you seen $500 donated in a super
Well, they don't want to disclose how much they made specifically from that because the number one people that bring them super chats are Nazis.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Of course they wouldn't. They probably wouldn't even know. Like, there'd no individual channels amounts, I imagine. But
well, there was money laundering going on too. If you watch the super chats, a lot of them would give specifically 500 5 times, specifically 500 2 times. There was definitely money laundering going on.
I have no idea on that allegation. But
unless some fuckhead living in his mom's basement has $2,500 to give out in $500 increments in 10 minutes. To say that fucking that he wants to,
you'd be surprised.
Is it even a good way of laundering money? 40% is a big loss in laundering money.
If you can't get it any other way, if you can't get it, with all the payment processors that have been fucked out of. I'm sorry.
No. 40% is a good rate for money laundering. Like back when I was in banking, we took a few courses on anti-money laundering schemes and all that. Yeah.
YouTube only takes 40%. Remember, they keep 60% of that money.
Yeah, I mean, then the government gets a good chunk of it as well, assuming they're reporting their taxes correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw like an Al Capone style article coming out of the Wall Street Journal in a few weeks' time of like, oh, this particular neo-Nazi YouTuber didn't report this on their taxes. Now they're in prison. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, alt-right has massive donors. They have millionaire donors that wipe their ass with $2,500 Regnery, D'Amigo has massive amounts of money. He's born into an insane fortune. So I could see somebody cutting their losses to make sure their money gets to a certain person if they need to. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that is a beautiful dislike bar. Oh my god, that is amazing. That is the best yet. Thank you, guys. I love how people are like trying to like make me have a problem with it, and I don't. So keep going. Thanks. After a BuzzFeed article in May detailed, I think I've read this one, haven't I? Yeah. When YouTube temporarily suspended a channel for a violation, that creator often appears as a guest on like-minded persons' channels until the ban is lifted. The problem for YouTube, said this researcher, is that YouTube is going to be continuously trying to apply a technology fix to what is a social problem. Yeah, it is really. It's that all these guys are hanging out, and you've provided a forum for them to hang out. Yeah. Mr. Ralph didn't respond to a request for comment. Of course he fucking didn't. On Thursday evening, yeah, he got a fucking DM from a Wall Street Journal journalist, and he was like, "Yep, not touching that." Because
yeah, but think about isn't that the mark of cowardice? He had his one moment to get in print in the big media and show his courage and devil may care, fuck you guys, bite me. And you know what he did? He went to an obscure website and named his stream "fuck SJW." You could fuck WJSJ. But you could have said it to them in print in their own publication, and he didn't have the balls.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Ralph didn't respond to a request for comment on Thursday evening after the journal approached YouTube with questions for this article. Mr. Ralph opened a new live stream by reading what he said was a super chat submitted earlier in the day, in which the viewer wrote, "Abort Hebrew babies." The stream continued for more than 20 minutes before it was shut down for violating YouTube's policy on hate speech, according to a notice posted on his Twitter account. Mr. Ralph then shifted to another channel and continued for several minutes before that was also shut down.
That was his henchman, Zidane Liancel, the Asian white supremacist channel that got shut down. His two co-hosts got shut down. One is Gator Gamer, who is an actual white nationalist who's a white man, and then there's the pathetic Bhutanese butcher, Zidane Liancel, who licks the white man's boot and asks for whether he's going to have a place in the ethno state and claps his little hands like a CO when Jared Taylor says, "Yes, you will."
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Yeah. So your place is on the back of this van. So we're just going to take you to the train station. We've got some trains waiting. Oh, don't worry. We'll send you someplace nice. It's got a pool.
There were plenty of Jews who thought. Yeah. There were plenty of Jewish collaborators that thought they were going to get away, and they got liquidated at the end too. So I'm sure Zidane's not going to, go down the path of various minority collaborators of fascists.
I mean, fair few, just especially kind of in and around, mainly in Germany itself. The Polish are very anti, of course, but most of them were in Germany. Didn't particularly work. Yeah, so this is the first time St. Jude is mentioned in the article itself. Like halfway down, it's mentioned.
It's really a footnote,
and yeah, it's not like a big, they don't bring it up and use it as the point of wow, how dare these fucking arseholes use children with cancer to be able to be allowed to talk about the Holocaust. Jesus Christ. But they didn't harp on that, which, I mean, you could sit there and say, well, they aren't trying to make money out of fucking kids with cancer. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital this week arranged to return donations raised in September during a live stream by Mr. Ralph dubbed Super Chat for Good. Even as the comment section became populated by anti-Semitic comments and the host talked about a Holocaust meme, the money totaled about $26,000. Many on Twitter complained Friday about having their donations returned to them. They also attacked the journal and members of its staff, blaming the news organizations for the return of the money. So I love how it changes the amount. The Wall Street Journal is reporting 26,000. I've seen 27 and 28 reported. And I feel like that's not the Wall Street Journal. I feel like that may just be, other people.
Look, I'm not saying the charity stream didn't happen. I'm just saying the numbers seem to be very exaggerated.
The numbers seem to be exaggerated and all over the fucking shop. Yeah, so when contacted earlier in the week, St. Jude said it was aware of the chats and was making an arrangement to reverse any donations. On Friday, a spokesperson said, "We had no intentions of receiving or accepting any of the funds associated with the live stream." So, according to St. Jude, they were already not accepting the money. According to St. Jude, in this article. So, yeah, the whole well, Wall Street Journal made them do this. Well, apparently not. According to them, they didn't. So, nice try. Following the journal's questions, YouTube also took down a live stream by far-right personality Jean-François Garipier.
Oh, here's the best part, by the way.
That was broadcast after the Pittsburgh shooting and included a number of anti-Semitic and racist comments in the paid super chats. Mr. Garipier said his channel doesn't allow hate speech and that he tries to delete super chats that are either hateful or that constitute cause for violence. He said that his channel has been banned, has banned thousands of viewers from his channel for repeatedly violating that policy. Oh, I know you blocked me, JF.
I need to make a correction of something because someone popped it up in my DMs. The laws that ban communists and Nazis from working and teaching positions are not in effect anymore. They've been abolished. Someone reminded me of that.
Okay. Mr. Garipier, who calls himself a white nationalist, said he doesn't see a problem with referencing 14/88 or Hitler, saying such comments are aimed at encouraging people to gain a better historical understanding of Germany during the first half of the century. He added it would be easy for YouTube to prohibit donations made in that amount if they differ from my interpretation. Oh boy.
That is golden.
That is fucking hilarious.
Because he was almost perfect in his comments. He was almost just acceptable enough, right? He disavows, he deletes, and he just had to open his fucking mouth. He just had to take that next step. I love it.
He just couldn't resist saying that aimed at encouraging people to gain a better historical understanding.
Well, I mean, that's a standard, again, and I always wonder if it's cynical or stupid. That's a standard alt-right orthodoxy that they're not racist or whatever. It's that they have they have this sort of revelatory understanding of the actual truth of the Second World War.
Yeah, somehow I don't think spamming 1488 is a truth of the Second World War.
Yeah, 1488 has nothing to do with Germany in the first.
88 means something very specific, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, but
and it's related to Nazi Germany.
Yeah, I mean it means hate.
Role playing as the Nazis is not getting an understanding of the Second World War.
It's not.
Oh no, right. He's wrong, but I'm saying that in his circles, again, this is like talking to a fucking Scientologist, where you're like, this sounds like vomit. But within his cult, these are perfectly reasonable assertions based on their constructed reality, their history.
Jesus Christ.
So I mean, again, I don't know if he's just parroting what he has to say for cynicism's sake. Deposit tokens, please, or if it's like literally JF is deep in the brainwashing and he just fucking this is harmless,
Yeah, it's one of those times you just kind of turn around and go.
It's funny that 1488. Sorry, I'm zoomed out. That 1488 is the number used by American Nazis, because I know that in Germany they use a different number. I think they say 6 and 5 or something, which would stand for 6 weeks and 5 hours, which is the amount of time that it took for Poland to surrender in World War II. So the numbers, I guess, will be different. The kind of symbols that they use, the secret ones, will be different from every single country to different country.
Yeah, probably, because I mean, I'm assuming that H isn't the 8th letter of the German alphabet. I mean, it might be, but it's possibly not.
The alphabet is the same. We have
Is
the
it?
same alphabet.
Okay. I don't fucking know. I haven't done German.
But the countries are so close to each other that you guys would understand.
It's funny that this article was about JF in the end and not about Ralph.
No.
And JF is still on the air. JF is doing A-OK. He's supporting the children of rape, and they're doing great. And Ethan Ralph is going to be stealing hamburgers out of the dumpster at McDonald's tomorrow
my
morning.
favorite book.
Hey guys, it's back.
Oh no.
Almost a year after we did that stream.
Oh no.
Hey JF, if you want to take down your book, perhaps not just have your book linked as book.jfg.world still, and then I wouldn't be able to easily find it.
I didn't know he had a book. Holy shit.
You didn't know he had a book? Here's his book.
No.
He's got it. Well, I say his book. I mean his chapter that's partially copied from The Selfish Gene by Richard Dawkins, and partly like his own Fruit Loop, just away with the fairies. It is.
Is it like a manifesto or?
No, it's really just something else, to be honest. Also, do you love how big the words are? I love how big the words are.
Oh yeah, for his girlfriend. Yeah.
Oh, fucking
Oh no! Oh no!
No, you didn't go there.
Too much. Too much.
Hey, fiance.
Mind you, she wasn't. What's fascinating about the girl in question that was in the trial documents is that she was not actually white. She was Mexican.
Yeah, she was. She was a Latina.
And not white Mexican, like not Eurocentric Mexican. Like she was.
When you're desperate.
But he wanted to give her a cooking show. She'd like.
If I were her dad, man, he wouldn't have legs right now, man.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been able to run back to Canada.
Nah, he wouldn't have made it out. He ain't gonna try that with a Puerto Rican girl. That's not gonna go down. No, sir.
Oh, that's just such a great image. Such a great image.
Wait, so why were there no repercussions for JF? I don't understand why they. Is it because JF is pulling super chats, isn't he? That's very interesting. Is it because he's not an American citizen or whatever?
No, because he's banning people. That's the thing. The funniest thing about all of this is that Baked Alaska turned out to be right. If you keep screwing with your chat in such ways, you're gonna end up getting banned. Can I just, if you think about it, do you think that if we could it be that YouTube will demand from us in the future to moderate not just our chats, but also to moderate our fucking comments and shit like that? Like, this is being driven into a direction that is really, you just start to get scared.
I feel like that would be unreasonable for like 99%, like 99% of the places where they get their super chats from. It would be unreasonable because the chat moves too fast. I mean, I'm looking at the chat right now. It's moving too fast for me to deal with.
Well, I think YouTube would probably understand like a good faith effort.
Jim. And they call other people NPCs. I think the script is broken.
Alaska is still an idiot, but he's an opportunistic idiot who
he's trying to come back. He's trying to come back. He threatened Ethan Ralph to a fight.
And he saw this system for the start for what it was. He saw that what the consequences could be, and therefore he decided to play around it. I'm going down and make me some food. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Good appetit.
That was horrible.
I could make food. I want food.
Let me just try and find some more people to make mod that I know.
Yeah, but moderating comments, that's so absurd. You can't fucking... my comments are full of more racist shit than lots of actual Nazis' comments are, and I'm an anti-fascist channel. You can't control if hateful shit's in your comments.
Yeah,
and I mean, you talk about like channels like maybe yours and, channels that are like 100,000 and less subscribers, and we already have like thousands and thousands of comments per day. Think about like the larger channels that have like 10 million subscribers and above. There's no way they can moderate that.
No. Let's stop this screen sharing.
Realistically, there's some channels that don't really need moderation, regardless of their size. Ethan Ralph is a particular individual who attracts a particular kind of audience, and that's why it's problematic for Ralph.
I mean, to be able to make the comments fully moderated would require like a switching to a system like Reddit instead of a system that YouTube has currently, like where the upvotes don't really matter and the downvotes don't work.
Well, the thing is also in it, you know, the problem with super chats is not that they're comments; they're not idle. They are comments that become content. They become part of the video. So the video and the video maker gets held accountable for those super chats.
And they're memorialized forever.
Yes, they're more powerful than spam. You know.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if you notice how Twitch is dealing with that, like that they don't fuck around with that kind of shit. Like as soon as they feel like there's some sort of problematic content coming from some channel, they just take it down. They don't fuck around.
My greatest fear is Twitch becoming 2015 YouTube. I'm so terrified.
What do you mean by 2015 YouTube?
When the alt-right, like the core of the alt-right propaganda machine on the internet was really like peaking, 2015, 2016, where like these people were running rampant on these platforms, including Twitter, and I'm just afraid that Twitch becomes the next platform where you have to.
I doubt it, because
Twitch is already harsher than YouTube, I think.
Twitch is very, very harsh when it comes to their moderation. They take their platform very seriously.
I thought you could say anything on Twitch as long as it wasn't the N-word.
No.
Not really, no.
Destiny
How many times
banned so many months ago because he was making fun of his mom, who was like being super racist. And he said something like, you know, do you just want to kill all the Mexicans coming over or something like that? Twitch took that as him endorsing it.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Can we just remark how much of a miracle it is that Destiny still is on Twitch?
Sure. He's on YouTube too still, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
Oh dear. Oh dear. But yeah, I think Twitch has been it's more difficult for them to take off on Twitch, just because
Twitch is gay.
Yeah, Twitch doesn't have this kind of linking between different Twitch VODs that like YouTube has, like with recommended videos and just auto playing. People are much more likely to just go straight to YouTube.
Everyone who uses Twitch is this vapid, empty shell of a personality. It's basically just, oh my god, why am I fucking watching this? That's the only thing.
I will disprove that with my boobs.
Exactly. That's the reason why. That is the reason why.
Supposedly, the new alt-right platform is Instagram. So far, they're
what?
Yeah, they're starting to cloister. They're starting to cloister on Instagram with, you know, showing images of white girls walking through wheat and shit.
No, man, the next alt-right platform is gonna be fucking Vine, man. Watch out.
They might go to TikTok. You never know.
Oh god.
Lauren Southern talking about white genocide on TikTok.
I'm already Tracer. I'm gonna fucking shoot your fucking head in if you don't give me Tracer. You're going to a concentration camp if you don't give me Tracer.
The perfect alt-right platform. Like this idea of Gab being an alt-right platform. Sure, okay, Gab, for example, it catered to them, etc., etc. But the thing is that they want to be on the platforms that they share with others because they need others for their ideology to work, because they want to convert others. If they don't want to participate in discussions or debates about their ideas, etc., they want to win by converting other people. That's what they want.
They want the theater. They want the theater of debate. They want to present They want to present the premise of the debate, but not actually do it.
It's more of a chessboard than a theatre. They want to play around with people. They want to play these games. That's what they do.
How are you, Fox?
Oh, hey, Fox.
I'm very well, thank you. Now, how is it? It's quiet in the chat tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. It's been a bit of a ghost town. It's just, man, I mean, like, you're sat in the world and you're just looking around and all you see is just the NPCs.
Yeah,
I'm actually getting repetitive strain injury in my finger hitting the mute button, you know.
No, I mean, they asked for Jim, and I think Fox's real name is Jim, so there you go.
Good evening, Fluffy. I've just seen you in the chat. Hope you're well. I just flashed through.
I love the chat.
Yeah, I
It's
saw him
amazing.
earlier. I managed to make him mod in time.
Oh man, this is amazing.
So have I missed anything?
Are we at a point where we can invite everyone on? Because if that's the case, I'm going to get Greek on so he can swarm us with
And
Greek.
you can get Greek on, yeah. It's not an invite everyone, but get Greek on if you want to get Greek on.
Kraut, guten Tag, wie geht's?
Good.
Good, fantastic, my friend.
I'm working hard. I don't have a free weekend. I have to work for this weekend. I'm supposed to work right now. I'm actually working right now while I'm talking to you guys, which is why I'm. Yeah.
Oh, what I missed. I got it.
So we were talking about Ralph and his kids with cancer.
The kids we killed. The kids we killed yesterday.
Let's be fair. If people really want to donate, you just go to St. Jude's and donate the money. It's not as if the money is going to be, you know, St. Jude's are going to miss out on the money specifically because of Ralph. If you really want to donate to the charity, go and donate to the charity chaps.
Oh, I'm going to donate to a different charity because they didn't let neo-Nazis donate to them.
This is propaganda of the deed, right? They wanted the money to be care of the alt-right so that they could get, footing and shit like that. It's propaganda of the deed.
Well, the British Legion did exactly the same last year when Britain first tried to give them loads of money. Well, some money. And the poppy people just turn around and says, "We don't want you, go away."
Yeah. It's just there was a lot of follow-up articles as well, like with the Daily Caller did one, of course, because I mean, it's a lot of the people, the ones that you expect to jump on it jumped on it. The Daily Caller's the main one.
Drudge? Did Drudge get in there?
Oh, I didn't see Drudge. But yeah.
Red Ice was complaining. InfoWars brought Ralph on. There were a couple of these people who are triangulated with him that did the when North Koreans cried when Kim Jong-il died, they start theatrical suffering.
It's a fair comparison.
Fair, they did know what was coming. I'd have cried if I knew that Kim Jong-un was going on. The cheese man. He's addicted to cheese from his education in France.
This is mainly the reason why so many people rallied around Ralph has nothing to do with Ralph himself. I doubt that any of these people like what he does, etc., etc. But it's just they're scared that it will happen to them. The media has done nothing to, for example, when the apocalypse happened and everyone had their revenue shredded by 3/4. The media did nothing to address that. It's just, you're all evil sons of bitches, fuck you all. And if they shut down super chats now, and they don't address the concerns of people who don't weaponize charities and etc., then what the fuck? It's again going to be a rallying cry. And as long as the media doesn't care about this, they will not change the environment on YouTube. So it's kind of a devil's circle of sorts. It's cyclical. It will go around and around. It's doom and gloom.
How much of this do you think is incumbent on the community itself to fix this kind of stuff?
You can't demand from this Okay, let me just be straightforward. You can't demand from a YouTube community to fix itself and police itself, because most of the people here are not a community, but individuals acting out of their own incentives to have success. Well, they don't give a fuck about what other people do. They care only about themselves. And let's be honest, if you want that to happen, if you want the community to manage this, that is actually more scary than anything is, because it will turn into a witch hunt. Believe me, it will. It will turn into, this guy might do something stupid that might get all our income shut down. So therefore, let's trash him. Let's get him. Let's drive him off. That's what it will turn into. And that's exactly why I don't want that to happen either. I don't want the fucking community to fix things. I don't want YouTubers to fix things. Most of them can't even take care of themselves. Do you really think they will be able to take care of this platform?
Oh, V's using slippery soap fallacy in the fucking chat, by the way. He said, Ralph is just a person. He won't be the last, for fuck's sakes. And it's like, you really think that they're going to start banning people who, you know...
Everyone is just a person. V, you're also a human being. Yes. You also are...
Questionable.
Yes.
Questionable.
I know that in our private conversations, I sometimes called you a Slavic subhuman and shit like that, but yeah, you're also a human being. Everyone's just a person. That's not an argument.
Yeah. It's not that it just doesn't work when you're thinking about it to know, like, oh, if Ralph was banned, anybody could be banned. Ralph was deliberately fucking stirring shit. He was harassing people, like, beyond... He broke the YouTube terms of service. And when you turn around and go, well, am I breaking the YouTube terms of service? I don't think so. Is anybody here breaking them?
Yeah, how hard is it to just obey the rules you agree to?
I think capitalism is the problem here. I think monetization is the problem. I think the fact... What's that?
I said, of course you do.
No, well, hear me out. So, like, this wasn't a problem before people could make money on this shit. You're going to... The second that you start monetizing this shit, making it profitable to say the N-word, and you know, hatred is very profitable, especially in times of economic stress like this. So the problem here is you have to change the incentive for people who are making videos. I mean, I wouldn't be against making it into a public company or whatever, like the power. I don't have a problem with YouTube being treated as a utility, as long as it removes the incentive of people to be disingenuous for cash and just whatever 1488, whatever, man. Put the token in the slot. You know what I mean? As long as that's the case, and again, it has to do with partner program, as long as there's money, you're gonna get people making money off of being edgy, because there's no standards and practices on this platform. There's standard and practices in mainstream media.
In response to the he didn't get 3 strikes, how many times has he harassed Shoeonhead just by having that fucking thing in his stream, like that thing with her hair falling out? Yeah, I'd count that as a decent enough reason to give a strike. And if that's been up for, like, you know, a good long time, it's been on many streams, and that's good enough for me to, you know, go, oh, well, you know, he got 25 strikes, so fuck
beep,
it.
Beep, beep.
Yeah, my
Hey, Greek. Have anything Greek to say?
Yeah, I passed by for the Greek takes, but very short. I'll go back to work. I came to Borat around, and to bring you news from the gym world. I want all of you guys to know, and everyone in the chat, that Jim doesn't care. Jim doesn't care about anything. Jim is not listening. Jim totally did not send 200 people in my notifications because, you know, he's Jim.
He don't care. He's not.
And also, there's no, like, I scanned all the 200 of them. There were no traces of grooming. Nothing.
Oh,
they
no.
were spotless. I came to spit truth.
Save us from the boomer groomer.
So nobody wanted to groom you. That must have been really upsetting.
Yeah, all the grooming spots are occupied.
I'm tapping out. You guys be good. Bye.
All right, see ya.
Good night.
Later.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.
Bring V on. Bring V on.
I've seen I've seen that the thing with Sean Heads, yeah, that's still up on his Streamlabs. So yeah. If V wants to come on, V can come on. If you want to.
Probably that page looks like that for years. Who knows what?
Are you serious?
If
you're really gonna bring V on?
I don't fucking care. Like, if you want to, people have been screaming at me to bring V on, like fucking like multiple people at this point.
I'm probably going to hop out soon because I am not getting any work done talking to you guys.
Fuck it, I don't fucking care.
You are
the Kraut cult in action. We don't care, Kraut. Fuck off.
It's okay, Kraut. Bye, bye, Kraut. Bye, goodbye, Kraut. I actually meant about V, but okay, bye, Kraut.
Oh, can you hear the police? I hate this. I live on the main road now, and I always hear the police.
Stop
Vinny.
yourself.
You're not black, shouldn't worry.
Loving that background noise.
I don't know about you, all I can hear is bloody fireworks. Because they've decided to...
Yeah, because it's like 2 days before firework night, and yeah. I'm surprised they mostly stopped here, actually. Although I live in buttfuck nowhere still, so you know.
Well, where I'm from, we actually go out night before bombing night. It's called Mischievous Night, and all the kids go around sticking bangers through your letterbox and really mature things like that. Yeah, little bastards.
What is this? A British holiday of independence or something?
Welcome to the North. No,
Basic,
so there was a Catholic that tried to blow up a king, and we killed him.
A guy called Guy Fawkes, or his real name.
B for Vendetta, yes.
His real name is actually Guido Fawkes.
Oh.
He was born in Young's Hotel in York, went to St. Peter's Catholic School, which is why they don't celebrate Bonfire Night. They have no fireworks there. But every 5th of November, we celebrate killing a Catholic by setting off loads of fireworks.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the day we discovered he was trying to blow up. Like, we found him and a shitload of gunpowder under Parliament.
I got more news from Jim. Jim, who is always A, uninformed, B, huffs his own farts, C, believes his own lies. Jim thinks I am an academic. He believes his shit so deep that he thinks I'm a university fella. And right now, Jim says I'm wasting time by not writing peer-reviewed papers.
That's the only thing that scientists ever do is write peer-reviewed papers, guys.
Jim, you're so fucking stupid, man.
If you're not writing a peer-reviewed paper, you're doing something wrong. You know that peer-reviewed papers are like fucking
you're right, like
2.5 and like 10,000 words long. They're not like deliberately not supposed to be huge. They're supposed to be readable. If you
want V on, I can give him the invite before I jump off.
Nah, it's alright, man. It's alright. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm struggling with sarcasm.
I'm not getting anything done either. I'm gonna go.
You know, I'm an academic too. I mean, I have like 6 PhDs. And
if you want to talk with me after the stream, I'm gonna go and hang out in that server where we keep all the doxes to dox all the people, including who knows who and who knows what. So I'll talk to you there. Bye.
Yes, the doxing server. Yes, my favorite place.
The problem is it's mostly Kraut's docs because he just spreads it all around the server.
Just in case.
Delicious doxes.
Here's a photograph of me, and it's like, okay, Kraut. That's like obviously there's a street sign in the background. Kraut, please stop.
This is too much. The weaponized autism squad will know too much.
I've always wondered, after all this stuff, do you guys really think that we need an academic? I think it's useful and good for our own side to have these academic discussions about responding to people like JF and their science and alternative hypotheses. Do you think that we can that we can persuade people or dissuade people making an academic response to race realism.
That's the problem. That's the problem where I kind of see it coming in. Where like I tried doing that, I really did. Like it's difficult because most people don't work in the field of races, especially biologists. Like it's like a really outdated concept, and nobody.
But is responding to that like responding to cryptozoology.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's like responding to like Lysenkoism or something like that. Some really old like form of like thought that was used to be rampant in scientific places.
I really compare them to flat earthers. It's like if you show them any evidence, they would either go like, "Oh, it's fake," or "It's not so," and it's just fake.
I do not agree with your methodology.
But at least
all of nurture is derived from nature.
Anybody want to start a cookie program?
A friend of yours gave me the link, and I joined.
Oh my god!
Drallasta, are you single?
No.
Okay, the rest of you are males. I'm not interested. Bye.
Speak for yourself, love. I've just smoked 20 wood bands.
Oh my god!
But yeah,
I think it still has value. I think it still has value, but I think it's more value for us to kind of speak amongst ourselves about why they're wrong, rather than like you know what I mean?
I mean, if you can make it entertaining, then I think it's fine. Like, if you can do it in an entertaining way, where you're kind of like in with like a sense of humor that has like the sense of humor of like a fucking wrecked feminist compilation or something. But you know what I mean? Like, kind
that's
of a base
the
humor
more
that kind of appeals to everyone. Like, you need that kind of base level of the video being able to appeal to everyone for it to be able to tackle race realism effectively, because you don't want to have people turn off immediately. And yeah, I really wasn't able to fucking do that. Like, I think a lot of people everybody who agreed with me already, and maybe they came away a bit more informed. People who didn't agree with me didn't agree with me, but they went away. So I kind of saw it as a friggin' something in futility. Yeah, it just kind of was futile. It was, yeah, which is a shame.
Greek did some great videos too on that subject, actually, around the beginning of the Garyepi era. I mean, for me, when I saw your video, Drallasta, or Greek, when I saw your video, what it does for me is, number one, it gives me information for when I actually get into arguments with these people, at least, for me to make my case. But more importantly, what it really did for me is to help me to remember that I'm not crazy and that reality is real. Like, when you get mired in their shit, you need those sobriety, the content that brings you back.
Yeah, especially as I wasn't at a university last year, and that kind of, I felt a bit isolated as kind of like in like a regular real life sense from other academics.
Yeah.
And that whole thing where I couldn't just go to somebody and just go, "Look, I'm not being crazy, am I?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that. Is a great part about being at a university, just with like fucking tons of academics. I do that. You do it all the time. You just go to somebody and just go, "Hey, I'm not being mental, am I right now? Just have a look."
Yeah.
So I'm not. Thank you. Bye.
So
it's a normal thing.
The thing is, though, that the more I look into it, the less humor I have about it, because it's, as you describe it, it's a little bit like an avalanche. Like, a lot of people buy into this shit very, very fast. And that's not even the problem. The problem is that once they buy into it, they don't seem to be able to listen to anything. Doesn't matter if it's good, doesn't matter if it's humorous. Come on, man, it's truth, man. Like, black people are black people, and like white people are white people, man. Why'd you have to do things complicated, man? It's like,
yeah, it's one of the hallmarks of cult thinking. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for me, it's the speed of conclusion. Like, I'm very slow at conclusions. I'm like one of the slowest people I know for conclusions. So I could watch a lot of anti-Semitic propaganda. I could watch a lot of race realism or race peddling propaganda. And you know, it wouldn't like affect me. I would get the information if there was any in there. I would cross-reference it or find the trail of where that propaganda was born and when, but it wouldn't like kind of like devastatingly affect me. Right now, people is like one guy watches a documentary, he becomes a racist. The other guy becomes an anti-Semite. It's like, and there, I mean, it happens. It's kind of generational, I guess. I don't know. It's the internet because it happens to other people too, not just groypers, like vegan, like people who eat like burgers and whatever all day. They just watch, you know, Earthlings once and then it's like next day vegans. It's so, I don't know. It's people kind of like jump to conclusions too fast lately. I'm not sure.
Well, for me, I mean, you know, I used to really believe this whole thing of like, okay, like you can, because, you know, my channel is 100% alt-right all the time in terms of content that I make and who I respond to. And I used to think that like I was impervious. I used to think that like, but 3 years in and listening to 8 to 20 hours a week of their content and their shows and their stuff. I'm not saying I've been persuaded by them, but you'd be surprised how much of their aggressive, it's like you don't internalize their talking points, right? But you still internalize their hatred and it starts to poison you and poison your, I don't, am I making sense?
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Continual drip feed.
Yeah.
Like the hatred itself, like, and I think the ideas that don't persuade anything, but constantly researching, constantly consuming, you're like, you starting to feel like you've been eating poison.
That is how you know that you aren't in a position where you can't accept other ideas. That's that when you're going, I have doubt, but it's so like, but it's just an annoyance. It's not like
doubt is good.
Yeah, doubt is good, but if you just go, no, I know that's wrong. Don't worry, I can rationalize it through in my head. I think about it before accepting that it's wrong. I don't just go, it's wrong. And that's kind of where the race realists don't have that. They don't have this. It's a cult mentality of they don't think about why something's wrong. If it disagrees with their point of view, they know it's wrong in their head.
They seem to need it. They seem to need it in the way that people need a belief. Like,
well,
you know.
I was gonna say, once you destroy their race realism concept, then they have nothing. I mean, they already have nothing because, you know, race realism isn't backed up by science or anything like that. But like, you know, why else would you advocate for an ethno-state? Because, oh, ethno-state make me feel nice.
I can tell you why. Because they see Greece, which is an ethno-state. They see it being successful, you know, flourishing. You know, we have abundance, economic stability. We have Borat accents, and they want all that shit for them.
This is a new
Syriza takes. These are Syriza takes.
Listen, people don't think like this, but don't think about this often. But many of the European countries are already ethno-states. In the Greek constitution, the Greek people take precedence over anyone else. There's a state-protected religion that is of the Greeks. It's Orthodox Christianity, whatever, and the language is protected. Our fucking feta cheese is protected, and the nationality, the ethnicity. And back in the good days when, you know, people would still borrow us money because they didn't know just complete maniacs rule us, you know, there would be benefits for extra children and stuff like that. And immigration would be pretty tight. Okay, that's kind of like an ethno-state. Everybody in here was Greek, okay? And people are saying, no, Europe had immigration since the old days. Not Greece. I mean, all the immigration we got was like lately. And by that time, we had destroyed the country anyway. So Greece is an ethno-state. How does it work for us?
Well, part of the problem was, you see, all the immigrants got to Greece and went, I don't like tzatziki, and just carried on moving, mate. It's nothing to do with the US now. So.
Actually, I think we charge salads and French fries too much.
You swine. French fries? They're chips. They're bloody chips, lad.
We cut them thin. They're not proper.
Big beef cut chips, lad.
Oh God. What happened to Yorkshire?
Oh, aye. Not far from Huddersfield.
The thing I get, the worst vibe I get, by the race realist youth is the spurging at the idea that you're kind of like shunning their cult and shit. It's like, dude, like your theory couldn't even predict like simple shit, like simple cultural transitions that went through Europe, happened in Europe through the last 50 years. Your theory can't even start to predict that shit. Why are you even bothered about it? But they're like, oh my God, what are you talking about? Races are real. Oh.
Also, can you explain why is it that the highest IQ countries have like lots of poverty? Like a lot of the Asian countries, like China, Vietnam.
Yeah, like there's this.
Yeah,
sorry.
that's the Vietnam. Yeah, they're not the highest IQ country. Like China isn't like on average. It's the problem that you're thinking about is like that there are a lot of rural areas that have poor education.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
There's this guy that makes. He's I think a South African.
South African.
That lives in China and makes videos about living there as a Westerner or a Southerner. Ha! And he frequently pinpoints out problems in the culture, like people try to be hush-hush about corruption and things that go wrong, and they prefer to cover them rather than expose them and solve them. And they do that so much that it's layer caking on them. Okay, so what can IQ do about this if the culture is stubborn about it? Nothing. It doesn't matter.
Okay. All right, we are like so far off the original topic now that it is.
Oh yeah.
It's funny.
Let's kill the stream so Jim can go to the toilet.
Yeah, I think we'll let Jim, actually go
relax a bit.
Yeah, it's probably time for his nap. Has he been fed?
Don't forget your vitamins, Jim. Don't forget your vitamins, baby boy.
Okay.
Jim Viter.
Have you got your comfort blanket?
He's definitely got his blanket. Don't worry. Okay. For the actual viewers out there, thank you for watching. For everybody else, fuck you. Bye.